It's been 1,000 years, but we finally got new Inazuma 11 Great Road of Heroes news. And the news is, there's news coming out next week. But we actually got quite a bit to work off, and that thing that we got to work off was this picture. This picture that shows the previously established main character squaring off against this absolute giant with long flowing blonde hair. He's got like the 3 quills, so he kind of looks like a bit of a fox. And he's like kind of built, and he's wearing a really dashing suit. And so the question is, who is this fella? And that's what I'm here to answer today, with 5 theories about who this big brute could be. The first theory is that he is a manager rival. He's like a rival manager. He's the Royal Academy to our Raimon. Obviously, in a Great Road of Heroes, you're taking charge of a manager who's building his own team, not a player. So maybe this guy's the same, but with the evil characters. Like, maybe he's got Aphrodite, Jude, he's got, like, some other evil characters, Ozrock, players like that on his team. And we're going to be competing against him in Football Frontiers. Because in Great Road of Heroes, it does kind of raise the question of, what's the goal of the game? Are we Raimon? Are we establishing this team? Is this like a new team? Is this like create a club in FIFA and Football Manager? And is he like the evil create a club? I could totally see it being that. So yeah, the first theory is that he's a manager rival, and he's going to be building his own, slightly more evil, darker team. Or maybe a team of blonde characters. The second theory is he is just straight up a bully character. There's nothing more to it. He is just an absolute arse, and he doesn't play football, he's not a manager, he's just gonna be walking around with his hands in his pocket, beating the ever-loving hell out of us. Maybe he just mocks us constantly, and tells us how terrible we are, comes and watches our matches, and then boos. He goes like this and says L nerd to us. Who knows, maybe he's just generally an arse. I'd like to think we get a bit more than that from this guy, especially considering this is a picture being used to hype up the first reveal in like 2 years, or a year, or however long it's been, like a year. And it's just some random bully character who's in the game for 5 seconds. The third is maybe he's a new footballer. Maybe this guy is the new Aphrodite, and he plays for the evil team, and he's like gonna come around, and maybe he's the reason why our guy doesn't want to play football anymore, because there's a whole thing about our main character slightly traumatized and doesn't want to play football. Maybe it's because of this guy. Maybe it's something he did. And maybe he's going to be the big striker for the new evil team. And maybe he'll have a move called 3 spikes of hair shot. I could totally see that being plausible. That's exactly what Inazuma 11 would do. The fourth is the Sasuke trope, for those who don't know from Naruto, which is the old childhood friend slash rival who turned astray and became evil. And maybe that's him. Maybe he was like one of our best friends when we were little. Then when we grew up and the height difference started happening, he decided, I really feel like turning to the dark side. And so he became Darth Vader and started attacking us. And then maybe he went on to... This theory can kind of become the backstory for the other theories. Maybe then he went on to become a manager rival. Or then went on to become an evil footballer with 3 spikes of hair shot. Who knows? But I definitely think that a possibility could be that he was our old childhood friend who turned astray, who turned evil. And the final theory is that he takes steroids, because he is built, and this is Inazuma 11. This kind of links to the footballer theory, but maybe he is like in charge of this secret drug operation in this Inazuma 11 game. Like, like God's Aqua, something like that, like what they did with Genesis. And maybe he's injecting drugs into himself, he's injecting drugs into his teammates, into the people he's managing, something like that. He's part of the big new evil scheme, and that's why he's so ripped and built, and I'm definitely not intimidated by this probably 10-year-old. I feel like I just exposed a massive insecurity about myself. No, it's fine, I'm totally built, totally. But there you go, that's 5 new theories about this possible new... There you go, that's 5 new theories about this brand new Inazuma 11 character. And if I was to come up with a dub name for him off the top of my head, it would be like Foxy McHairface. Something cool like that. Make sure you subscribe to the channel to be one of the first people seeing the brand new news dropping next week. Bye.